When you were watching the film of last night, did you see many little subtle instances where things just weren't right? They were a little bit off, and that's the kind of thing you need to correct in the next 10 games?
Yeah. I mean, listen, we had a few things that we honed in on as kind of keys to the game, and for the most part, we did those pretty good, Doug, I think. Um, and then offensively, probably noticed I didn't run much, didn't call many plays, didn't do much. Houston kind of allows you to play, a whole game against, constant switching. And it's not that easy to play offense against because their premise is, they're going to do whatever they can to kind of keep two in front of the ball to keep it out of the paint. So you got to work pretty hard to conjure up some offense at times. And it's good practice to kind of make the guys work their way through that, So I thought we did a decent job of that. I thought, there was a few possessions, like you said, there was some things we probably would have done differently or game planned for differently to combat some of that stuff. But I think it was good to see if we could just play our way through it rather than direct our way through it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does. We talked a little bit about this last night. What's it like in the facility with no people around you? It's much quieter than it ever has been. What kind of challenges does that present to a coach? Calling plays and getting guys' attention, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it was certainly noticeable to me right from the start, Doug, of I think it was the first possession we got fouled and Houston lined up in their kind of full court free throw formation, and I got up to kind of direct traffic on how to guard that, and I caught myself stopping about halfway through because all 10 players were listening to me instead of just my 5. I think when there's crowd music, your guys are used to kind of hearing you, and that was noticeable that you maybe are not going to be able to just bark out whatever you want to do, and if you do, they're going to know, right? They're going to hear it. On the other hand, on the positive side of things, it was certainly really comfortable in the timeouts last night. The way you could just express yourself in comfortable conversation, kind of like you and I are doing right here, was that was nice. It was nice instead of trying to talk over the music and the crowds and the T-shirts flying over your head and all the other stuff that's going on. You're just kind of sitting there having a conversation. That was nice.
Can you develop signs like a baseball coach with your players, or will you have to do that? Yeah,
exactly. I'm trying to decide what the indicator is. I'm gonna have to wear a hat to do that.
There you go.
Yeah, we I did call some plays. We got kind of a numbering system, and I kind of sit back and just do the numbers, and that way you don't have to say something. So, but we've talked about thinking about some other ways of trying to get some things across.
Hey, Coach, thanks for doing this.
Hi, Steven.
Last night, you and Mike D'Antoni were wearing these pins that said, I believe, "Coaches for Racial Justice," and it looks like this is a league-wide thing. I just wanted to know, what was your involvement, and I guess perhaps in organizing this, or how these kind of pins came about.
Well, I think we've talked about that. The head coaches have spent a lot of time in meetings, Zoom calls, etc., with a number of initiatives. This is just one really, really small one that that group came up with and produced and got out. I kind of like them. I mean, I wasn't really, I'm not in this scenario. I think there's a lot of, there's a lot of signage and there's a lot of messaging via T-shirts and all that kind of stuff. We wear a lot of pins and a lot of T-shirts and things throughout the season. Some of that gets lost in the shuffle, but I kind of like these. They're pretty big. They're pretty bold. Again, it's all 30 head coaches that are involved. It's just kind of our way of giving another visual for reminders, keep conversations going, and me and you can have a conversation about it like this.
Um, like what other initiatives so where could we potentially see down the line?
Well, there's a number of them, Stephen. I think going back initially, we went right after the 8 Can't Wait campaign, which is the United States of measures and policies that police use in the city. Um, that was an initiative. We're really going really strong on the voting. Atlanta's using their arena as a voting poll. You know that we're getting the message out there for all the Americans living in Canada and around the world to send in get their registration to vote via mail. Fvap.gov is the site that we're trying to send everybody to there. You probably noticed yesterday I was wearing a vote T-shirt. All our coaches were wearing the same vote T-shirts. And there's a lot of initiatives that the head coaches are running here. I think Lloyd Pierce is running that committee, and you could probably keep a pulse on that through him and our coaches association.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Just when you pack it in last night after the game and you go to bed. You go to bed thinking, we're right where I thought we were. We're further ahead than I thought we were. We're behind. Like, what did yesterday's game tell you, if anything?
Well, I think it told me that we looked okay. I think there's again a lot of the stuff we've already talked about. We expected different levels individually of conditioning. We saw that. We expected some inconsistent out of rhythm play. We saw that, and we saw a lot of really good stuff. Right, the ball moved. We got stops. Our defense was pretty darn good. Especially when you look at the numbers after the game. It was 0.89 points per possession. That's going to win you damn near every game. So a lot of good things. I don't know. One takeaway I would say is I thought maybe we'd ramp this way through the scrimmages minutes wise. And my thought today is maybe it'll stay the same or even go the other way. I think that the scrimmages are going to provide just an opportunity similar to last night. And we still have the 8 regular season games to maybe ramp up.
So you'd end up using the same, or that you wouldn't be cutting anybody off. Like, you're not going to ramp up. If you're going to ramp up minutes, you're going to ramp up individual minutes, and that means more guys are going to.
I don't think so. Yeah, I would have thought coming into this, I would have said it was going to be that way. But for some reason, as I sit here today, I feel like keeping it the same or even limiting more.
Circling back to what Stephen was talking about, could you sort of expand on the resource that Jamal McGlure has been to you for the Toronto and Canadian aspect of the Black Lives Matter and the racism in our city, and how you sort of lean on him to help in messaging or information, I guess?
Well, the first thing I can say is this, Doug, is when we had our first call with the staff, our first couple calls with the staff, I've lived in both countries. I've lived in 4 countries, right? And there's a feel or a different feel in each one of them, obviously, towards diversity and racial equality and whatever. And I think that you certainly feel a difference in Canada, right? And I just asked Big Cat, Jamal, why? Explain it to me. Tell me. What he's lived in a lot of places too, so he's had some different experiences, and so he was a guy that kind of took me back and kind of walked, not only me but our whole staff was on the call, and we just kind of let him talk to us a little bit about that, so we'd have an understanding. You guys know that he's very visible in the community, does a ton of stuff. I thought he was a major star during the pandemic, all the stuff he was doing. and he's always out there and helping kids and teaching kids and all that kind of stuff. But just gave me a good perspective to answer your question.
What are the expectations for the Raptors entering the playoffs?
No, we're coming here to win the thing. Ferdinand, I mean that's what we're trying to do. We like our team. We think we got incredible chemistry and some toughness and great competitors, man. These guys, there's some really special players on this team. Really special players on this team that play to win each and every night. And we just want to see how far we can take it. And for us, we set our goals high.